So hey guys, this is a quick story run through with a maxed out level 69 character on playthrough 1. It's gonna be real quick. I started recording from this point because I wanted to keep out any copyrighted music like the intro to this game has. I'm not going to be doing any side missions. It's just going to be straight through.
Great! I detected your echo
We're
device
good.
is fully functioning. This way, please.
So what I did was I fast leveled a secondary character to level 69 from level 1. I have a video for that. How to get it done quickly, as do many other YouTubers, I'm sure.
New use station. When you use this device, your DNA profile is automatically identified and stored. Please activate the new use station now.
We're good on all that. I also gave my character, this secondary character, class mod, a shield, and a couple weapons from my main character, just so that I've got things to run around with. I'm curious to see how long this run through of the story will take. I don't think I've ever done a level 69 run through playthrough 1. At least not in one go that I've timed. There's a fair bit of waiting around for the story to kick up. He's so brave. Brave as Claptrap.
Those bandits really have it in for us claptraps. Using us as target practice is not part of our programming. And open! Yes! Oh.
Me to come back with 9 toes. Open the door!
I guess I'm not so overpowered that I don't have to worry about aiming.
You should open this door tonight. There may be something inside to help against those bandits.
Yes, got the sweet loot. So looty.
Wow! That looks like it could do some damage. Okay, let's get this game.
I'll actually just make sure the... Yeah, okay, I've got ammo regeneration on. Good.
These controls seem to be damaged. Have no fear. I'm sure I can do it. This isn't working. Quick, this way.
This way. Crouch. What? Oh, rats. Ugh, sorry, I have to quickly, swap preset, customize, okay. Yeah, okay, we're good. Sorry about that. The issue that I just had to fix was on the Switch version. Of course, the Switch has A and B swapped, which correspond to, you know, X and circle on the PlayStation. So you can swap that using a Pro controller in the system settings. However, it doesn't take into account that the game still has B as jump and A as crouch. So when you swap them, it swaps those two in the game, so it's necessary to re-swap those two functions. It's just a little extra annoyance, but I want my my bottom button, B in the case of the Switch, or X in the case of the PlayStation, to be jump, and OK.
I'm over here. Attention, citizen of fire.
And I want the right button, either circle on the PlayStation or A on the Switch, to be crouch and cancel. So it's just a little precaution that I didn't take before starting this.
I'll let you in. Come on. Damn it. Blasted circuits are on the fritz.
The first few missions in this game are typified by having to wait up for and constantly run up to Claptrap
Notice that a new icon has appeared on your heads-up
and follow
display.
him around.
That's a waypoint. The waypoint will tell you where you need to go, depending on what mission is currently active in your mission log.
Yes, thank you. I guess this scene can't be skipped. So while I'm doing this run through, the one
Thanks for opening her up again.
the one exception to no side missions is I'm going to be. Oh right, I have to wait for the clock up. I'm going to be dealing with the backpack SDUs to get this character up to 72 backpack slots. So that will be one break from just a full-blown fast story. I was standing in the way though. Cheater game.
Looks like he got under Nine Toes' skin. Don't worry. He'll get what's coming to him.
You did it! I knew you were the right choice. Oh, the poor little robot needs our help.
Robot? He has a
Would you
name.
kindly give him a hand?
Name's Claptrap. Oh, I have to perform diagnostics first. Now go get the backpack SDU. This is the only backpack SDU.
Why don't you
Well,
look around for something to fix
it's
up?
the story-related backpack SDU that doesn't actually give you additional backpack slots. But this is what all the backpack SDU things look like, except usually backpack SDUs that'll get, or yeah, the repair kits that'll get you backpack SDU upgrades tend to be a bit further away and a bit harder to get than this one. So now it's time to kill 5 skags. I'm also using a bit of an unusual gun. It isn't a straightforward SMG. It's the pearlescent SMG, the Cobalt Tsunami, which shoots bullets that ricochet off and do heavy electrical damage, shock damage. So that's.
What do you want? Spit it out.
That's why it looks like there's a lot of
You know what you need to know.
chaos going on when I'm shooting. The fact is that I simply didn't want to get rid of any of my or give my second user any of the good weapons, and I don't find many of the pearls to be worthwhile to actually use. So I had to get a power coupling, bring it back, install it on the med vendor. It's now installed, and you need to purchase a shield for the mission.
I keep the medical equipment working.
Let's buy something cheap. Mission completed.
Thanks for the help.
You ought to use the machine to sell some things you don't need and buy first aid kits to use. I might not have a med school.
It's worth noting at this point, once you've completed this thing to be able to buy stuff from it, if you're starting the game for the first time and you're a level 1 character, you can take a quick break. If you've got the DLCs, which most versions of the game do, you can now fast travel to T-Bone Junction, get expensive items, come back and make use of the exploit that gives you a lot of experience, and you can get to like level 20 to 30 in the first hour. I have a tutorial on that, as do many other people as well. But if you want to get your character that's at the start of the story up several levels to have an easy time through the first part of the story, you don't want to have to worry about taking time away from the story to level up if you find that the enemies are too hard. That's a good way to go about it, because it gives you the experience exploit gives you 20,000 experience roughly per minute, and there isn't really any insane work that you have to do to get it done. It just takes a little bit of time, about 15 minutes to half an hour to set it up, and then you can gain quite a bit of experience every time you load and exit the game.
What do you want? Spit it out.
Gotta meet TK Baja now.
You know what you need to know.
I've chosen the Siren as my preferred class on my spare account. I feel that her phase walk has the best utility of any of the class's abilities overall. It allows you to move quickly, which makes errands and missions shorter. If you're at a similar level to the enemies that you're facing, you can get out of trouble fairly easy with it. And it has quite a bit of endgame potential as well. Like taking Cromerax out the easy way if you're not interested in fighting him legit, which is a totally valid way to fight him in my opinion. Cromerax is difficult, and I don't blame anyone for wanting to at least get the job done once without having to get good to the point that they're able to take Cromerax out legit. I've done it both ways, and yeah, taking Cromerax out legitimately is an ordeal. Not only do you have to spend a lot of time getting your equipment ready, but you also have to really learn the mechanics of it.
You've done well. I've decided to reopen my fire
Back to town to buy a grenade.
Head into town and buy some.
This early portion of the game spends a lot of time just having you run, performing menial errands, getting a bit of an idea about the layout.
It's hard to seek new opportunities with old equipment. Upgrade now.
Thanks for the tip. Back to TK Baja. And we're almost done with this small section of the map.
You're not a skag, are you? No? Lucky you.
Time to take out Nine Toes.
Mostly anyways.
the boss Nine Toes is probably the first challenge of the game. It's not very difficult, but if you find yourself having a bit of trouble taking him down, particularly because he's got his 2 dogs that come after you at the same time, there's no harm in taking a few moments to farm enemies in that first area, or here in Skag Gully. There's some named enemies that will give you a decent amount of experience. And so if Nine Toes is too difficult for you, spending a little bit of time here just to get your level, up 1 or 2 levels is certainly the way to go to make that easier. A necessary waypoint is just this. It'll give you a slightly better weapon, likely, than what you're using. I totally agree with you. It is a bit tedious. My rationale for it, I guess, is that they're trying to have you run around a little bit, directed by waypoints, just to sort of give you a feel for the game. Because I don't remember what the intro to number 2 is like right now. It's the claptrap and the bullymong and whatever, but I don't think that they really force you into any of that. I think you're directed to actual missions, going forward fairly quickly, whereas this is the first in the series. So I guess that's why. And as you suggested, likely they just haven't updated it since. Yeah. One thing to note, it appears that I took him out so quickly, Nine Toes, that his dogs didn't even come out. But this battle, for a player that's similar level to the enemy, there will be 3 enemies to take out.
That was the first step on your journey. You must listen. Who I am is not important. The first thing you must know, the vault is real. People will mislead you. They will try to use you.
So now we're just going back to TK Baja to turn in the mission.
The vault is here. We will find it. This world is full of dangers. Steel yourself.
One thing to note for returning from missions, what you can often do, especially if the return is fairly time-consuming and extensive, is that you can quit out of the game, come back in, and it'll load you at the start of the map. I didn't find it to be particularly beneficial for this specific return from the mission, but there are many instances throughout the story that you can absolutely make use of that to shave time that you could be spending doing other things. And I will make use of it quite a bit throughout this quick story run. Now it's time to return to Zed.
Mostly anyways.
The reason I'm even doing this story mission relates to, or this, the story run through, relates to
Well, I'll be damned.
farming up my character
You should get me a drink to celebrate sometime.
to level 69 and being able to
Might want to
repeat that process.
See if anyone else has a job for you.
Sorry, wrong thing. Have to go to the mission board.
And are now equipped with special abilities. Always be on the lookout for
Time to catch a ride.
to supercharge your arsenal.
You can now work on more than one mission at a time.
Are you the one killing all the crap when people ask? The catch a ride near Firestone is more busted than my mama's girl parts.
real appreciate you taking a poke at that. The system, not my mom. Down the Skagdan, know what I'm saying?
Okay. So before the catch ride station will work properly, it's necessary to take out this named enemy over here, Bonehead. This fight is quite a bit more difficult than Nine Toes. And I found that leveling up before fighting him can be very helpful. You can also just try to cheese it, take him out from distant vantage points. Nothing wrong with that. I've done it many times over the course of my playing the story. But this fight is more difficult for a person starting off the game at level 1. The next mission is to use this vehicle and oh, I don't think I can go that way. And take a small jump over a little canyon to open up the next portion of the map. You're locked out of it until you get this this vehicle. Oh. Unfortunately, I failed it because I didn't properly use the boost. I'll just do this one more time. So approach it straight. Hold the boost button. Unbelievable. I'm going to do this one more time and just probably cut out the failures. I don't think I've ever, or I don't think I've messed up on that in a long time. Ridiculous. There we go. I wasn't boosting quickly enough. After that, come back here and open the gateway, so now you don't have to jump the piss wash hurdle every time. Get out of the vehicle to open the door. And return to Zach.
Alright, why don't you come on back? I got something for you.
Greetings, traveler. New missions are available at the Firestone Bounty Board.
You'll find a fella named Shep near the crossroads on the way to
And
the
he here gives us a weapon storage deck upgrade. So now my character can hold 3 weapons at a time and swap through them. And now it's time to meet Shep Sanders. So I'm level 69 instead of level 1 for this playthrough. It's necessary for me to use to go through the story with this character that I've farmed up to level 69, to the end goal of being able to consistently, quickly level up additional characters at the end of the game. I have a video for that. Now it's time to get the mine gate key. Just have to go down here to get it.
Did you know Shep Sanders in the air?
Let's try this again then.
Job for you.
And at this point I'm going to take a quick break to get the first backpack SDU. now that we've gotten the first backpack SDU, we can get back to the story. I'm just getting a vehicle.
Enough walking.
And it's necessary to infiltrate a bad guy's hideout near all these windmills to get the mine gate key. And that involves just driving in, get out of the vehicle, and then into this door here on the side. Grab the note. And then we find out that we have to take out a boss named Sledge. Or rather, go to Sledge's safe house to actually get the mine gate key. Sledge's safe house is just in here. Sledge's safe house is also the location of the second backpack SDU mission. There's a few larger enemies in here, alpha skags, and I believe that you can find the badass shock, corrosive, and fire skags here too. They give good experience. They're a bit of a challenge to beat, but if you can take them out, you're in a good place for Sledge's safe house. That does provide a bit of a challenge if you're going through the game normally, starting at level 1. Need to go around. In a regular playthrough, you'll likely be taking out all these enemies to gain experience, but this playthrough is mostly just about getting through the mission. So there's a weapons chest up here, in case you could use a little bit of loot. I'm not pointing out all the weapons chests, of course, just some of the easy ones that I remember, as well as I'll be showing some chest farms, you know, to get some sweet loot along the way. Actually, this area is a little bit complicated, so maybe I'll stay away from using phase walk, so it isn't as hard to follow, in case that's what's happening. Okay, so just to make this area a little bit less complicated, this is the location of the second claptrap, backpack SDU, and it's in Sledge's safe house. This claptrap also gives you a reward. A little bit further in, he'll open up a door that gives you access to a red chest, and as you know, right here, as you know, red chests are good for weapons, much better than silver chests overall. So it's possible that this will be an upgrade to you at this point. So now, with the backpack SDU out of the way, there's another red chest right here. It's time to get the mine gate key. Go through here, you get ambushed. For times like this, I really should have brought I should have transferred a bigger weapon, like a launcher, to my second character. This opens up, and then you get some bigger bad guys coming in. Through here. Missed that. Doorway. Okay. And then there's a mini boss here. It's a Roid Rage Bandit. Psycho. He throws grenades at you. The grenades can be pretty harmful. Best to keep moving. There's a lot of little enemies that come after you. If you're running with them behind you, they will group up, so they're fairly easy to take out. Oh, come on. Go away, please. Alright, got the mine gate key. So this is one of those times when it's necessary to run all the way back here to proceed with the story. But it would be a little bit quicker and a little bit more chill to just quit out and load back up, because you're going to load up at the start of the Sledge's safe house. Not that it saves you a whole lot of time, but just for the, especially if you don't need the experience by continually, you know, getting into fights along the way. This just makes it a little bit less tedious overall. Unfortunately, it won't work in this next area. It's necessary to run all the way through, because if you were to quit out right now and come back in, you would respawn at the entrance to Sledge's safe house. But I like to take advantage of quitting out and reloading whenever I can. Someone with a high shock weapon is shooting at me. I believe I'm running the wrong way. Through here. Back to the Arid Badlands. And now it's finally time to infiltrate Sledge's stronghold. I believe that the approximate level of Sledge playthrough 1 here is level 18-19 area. So you want to be around that area by the time you're facing Sledge.
Get out of here.
Just going to take the vehicle over because it's quicker. And Sledge's safe house is just sort of past this this area with the windmills.
Did you know Chef Sanders in the Arid Badlands has another job for you?
Oops. Can I trigger it from here?
Now has been simple.
No, it doesn't look
You're
like it.
about to face a real challenge.
I have to be out of the vehicle.
Do not underestimate them.
Did you know Chef Sanders in the Arid Badlands has another job for you?
You can run in here and ammo up and check for better shields when you first arrive. And then it's necessary to just fight through a bunch of enemies. Up the stairs here.
Time for power.
down into here, you'll be faced with heavy fire. Lots of it from that Mulciber MK2 stationary Gatling gun that you can actually take the enemy out of. And if you haven't destroyed it, you can get in and take out enemies with it. I find that the fire element is an excellent way to get rid of enemies using turrets without actually destroying the turret themselves, as long as you're actually aiming at the enemy, not the turret itself. Through here, lots of enemies to fight, quite a bit of experience to be gained. I completed Zap. Good for me. And then you're gonna make your way over here, whether on these rails or underneath, and then into that area. There's a weapons chest here. And then take the elevator up for a second set of vending machines. Now it's time to take out Sledge and get the Iridian artifact.
And he has a powerful shield you will need to whittle down before you can hurt him.
Come and get it.
Don't let him touch you.
Killing Sledge's men makes Sledge angry.
I don't want to be his friend. This drops, and it contains the Iridian artifact, as well as some cash money.
I bet you would like to know what that is.
There's also some
Is real. What
chesty kind of things that you can loot around here. I don't think that there's any weapon chest necessarily, but yeah. This is also another time when you can just quit out, come back in, and you will be spawned at the entrance to the headstone mine, saving you a trip out. I really need to toss this junky junk. I have cooldown reduction, right? No, I've got ammo regeneration. Yeah, ammo regeneration is good. I don't have to worry about. Oh, actually, no. Maybe cooldown reduction overall will make things proceed a bit quicker. I think I should actually do that. I can use the phase walk more often. That's probably more beneficial than anything. Again, don't expect to be proceeding through the story this quickly if you're playing it legit. It's just that because I have to be doing this anyway, I thought I would record it and make a sort of guide or template for anyone that chooses to watch it, in terms of how to get through, and while keeping in mind certain end game considerations. So you have to drive back to Zed. The Sledge saga is now over.
Greetings, traveler. New missions are available at the Firestone Bounty Board.
My driving skills could use some work.
Busted up 9 toes and beat the hell out of Sledge.
Time to leave Firestone.
Greetings, traveler. New missions are available at the Firestone Bounty Board.
So we're making our way all the way back to near where we entered the sledges area. We're going past it and taking this road all the way out of town.
So, you think the vault is real, eh? Everyone is talking about it. This is the biggest thing that's happened here in a long time. Think of the visitors we will have. Listen.
Gotta get out of the
if you
car.
find it,
Talk to
what's
Claptrap.
inside could be worth a fortune, but only if you get the right partner to help you sell it. So, partners.
Access to the doll headland is granted. Please stand by while I activate the gate for you. Yes. You are now free to enter the doll headland. Interesting fact. Based on your current stress patterns, I calculate a 94.
So what we have ahead of us now is some vehicle combat. Gotta get out, talk to this guy. And sorry I misspoke, before the vehicle combat stuff. A few errands to run, including taking out some bad guys and then getting the fast travel station up and running.
You know, Lucky's an old buddy of mine, and by old
Getting all
buddy,
that
I
hang
mean
time.
asshole that ruined my mom's girl parts. Sounds like
Excuse
he's in
me.
trouble, so you go on ahead and try and keep him alive long enough so I can kill him at a later occasion.
Still gotta take out bad guys. I really shouldn't be wasting ammo now that I've gotten rid of the ammo regeneration. There are more enemies in this area than what's required to open. I guess it opens after I take out a certain amount of enemies. Where's the rest of them? Ugh. Seriously? Now will it open? Oh, good. Can confirm you have to take out 15 enemies and then it opens. Big guy comes out of the door that you have to enter. Open this. And time to talk to Lucky. Open the door. The mission board is here as well as the fast travel station.
knows the area better than
And we're just gonna
I want to use him while he's alive.
throw a few breakers.
Kill him and all.
You can reach these via jumping if you don't want to. If you don't want to climb all the way up, that's more pertinent for the second one than the first one. And then over here to flip the master switch. Also be careful with these vehicles because they can immediately take you out by running you over. There's no level that you can be at to protect you from that particular threat. Just climb up here, hit the switch, we're done. And then jump down. And we're going back to Lucky. So now you want to grab a vehicle?
Let's get you rolling.
Let's get some wheels.
And, oh, come on. I gotta take out runner patrols. They'll pop up as, red enemies on your map. Eventually. I find it odd that with this version, not all of them are showing up. There were 3 or 4 enemies here when there was only one red square on the map. But I have reason to suspect that there's a few imperfections with this port of the game. And eventually I will attempt to compile a list of them with video evidence. I just don't know how tedious that'll be and if I'll ever actually complete it, because I've been playing Borderlands 1 on the Switch for a while already, and I do want to get to the other games, Borderlands 2 and pre-sequel. So I will see. Final enemy here. Now it's time to turn in.
Oh, he had you blow up some of my rides? Bandits or no, those were some pristine tail-getting machines.
And it's time for the next boss battle. This one is an arena with a few bad guy vehicles.
Okay, this Bad Mel guy, I know him.
Mad Mel, who's in a larger vehicle, and some enemies that are on foot.
Hey, you say hello from Scooter. And by that I mean you just go murder the crap out of him, alright?
It's worth noting that when you're similar level to the enemies, you just have to drive over here to trigger the gate coming down, and then the fight starts. It's worthwhile to note that when you're the same level as the enemies, your vehicle is very breakable, and there are instances, this fight being one of them, when it may be worth getting out of your vehicle, particularly if you've got good weapons, so that you don't lose your vehicle by enemies shooting at it. But of course, if you fail this fight, you can respawn just outside of the arena. I think anyway, you may respawn at Lucky's. I should actually confirm that before I say it with certainty. So now that Mad Mel's done, time to talk to Claptrap and we enter New Haven. Ugh, gotta get out of the vehicle again.
I've received proof of Mad Mel's demise. Claptraps everywhere will rejoice. Please wait while I enable access to New Haven.
So being level 69 and going through the story, it took about an hour to get to New Haven from the start of the game. I guess, good to know, I suppose.
I'm transmitting to inform you that I've made a decision I think you won't like. As administrator of New Haven,
And here we are in New
responsible
Haven.
for the well-being of its citizens. And in that capacity,
This opens
I
up a
must
few
keep the
things.
sanctuary closed for now.
There is a Claptrap backpack
and I
SDU in
don't
this
want
town.
citizens getting killed trying to get past.
A weapon SDU as well.
That's all for the time being.
You can talk to the Claptrap anytime. I think a good force of habit to get into is to power up everything first. And the reason is because in playthrough 2, when you're going through the backpack SDUs again, when you may have to restart many times until you get the backpack SDU in playthrough 2, turning on all this stuff first will power up the save station, which makes it much easier to quit out, come back in, and attempt again. Although I see that it's saving now. I had troubles before with the saving, so I'm actually not sure what the deal is. Maybe it isn't necessary. Perhaps it's the fast travel that doesn't work until this stuff's on. But in any case, it's necessary to do this mission, so I'm doing it. It also occurs to me it might not have been the worst idea to give my character some grenade mod for oh, it's over there, for grenade jumping. Perhaps I'll attempt to keep my eyes open for that. And then the final power thing. Come on. Is on the edge of town here. Mission complete. So I'll just go back and talk to her. And then do the Claptrap.
Well, looks like you fit right in.
The next story mission being talk to Tanis, which is necessary to leave town for. But I'm quickly going to do 2 Claptrap repair missions to get 2 more backpack SDUs. Before exiting, if your weapons are fairly weak at this point, I've made a video showing the, I believe, 7 silver chests that you can quickly farm in this area in the period of a couple minutes, and you can, it's repeatable. You just hit them, grab the weapons you want, save and quit, reload, do it again. If things are weak and you could use a slightly better weapon, maybe shield, whatever. Farming the chests in New Haven can up your loadout a little bit. So now it's time to go to. Of course, I have to get out of the vehicle.
You should come to me now so I can see the artifact you have recovered.
Your DNA has now been granted clearance to travel within the Rust Commons. Please wait while I activate the gate.
Someone hit me with something big. So next up, Tanis. We're going to be visiting her several times throughout the story. She's located up here. When we go by, we'll trigger this area. That'll open up that that fast travel station, and we can fast travel to there anytime we want to talk to Tanis from then on. Another thing to note at this point is that there's a repeatably farmable dev chest that gives you uncommonly good quality loot that you can farm when you get here. I've got a video on that as well. Unfortunately, for the time that it takes, it's only one chest, but the loot is very good. So if you want to spend a bit of time trying to get some very high quality weapons for whatever level you may be, that's a good place to go. Alright, we've discovered the underpass. Time to get out of the vehicle. I mean, I guess I could have stayed in the vehicle and drove, whatever. It's just over here. Using the phase walk, it gets there very quickly. Yes, the dev chest. It's known to be a developer chest, which gives very high quality loot for, you know, compared to any other chests in its proximity, either you know, story wise or level wise or whatever. It's called the dev chest by, I guess, all the people that have ever made videos on it. It's my understanding of it is that here's Tanis. Time to meet Crazy Earl in the scrapyard. So now we're going back. It's considered a dev chest based on the uncommonly high quality loot that you get, and I believe the understanding is that you can also grab that there. That when troubleshooting the game Borderlands before release, it's necessary for game devs to interact with damn near every aspect of the game, every point in the game, and without having a dev room that can, like with Final Fantasy VII, that can take you to any point in the game. It's necessary for devs to travel everywhere, you know, on foot. So, or you know, like there's no shortcuts to it, and having access to a chest that gives you high quality loot just makes performing those tasks easier. That's my understanding of its presence anyway. So we're just making our way to, I hope I'm totally not going the right way, or whatever. Hopefully there aren't any barriers to entry. The good thing about games like this is that is that they you're essentially always pointed in the right direction with the waypoints. So for the most part, you know, getting to certain areas doesn't exactly require much of a tutorial. It's just go here. There's also a weapon vendor and a few things here. Just sitting outside of the scrapyard. Time to meet Crazy Earl, as well as get the next Claptrap Backpack SDU. Alright, first time I'm here, I have to explore that.
What you want?
So it's time to take out bandits and spider ants. Not skags. And you'll find the spider ants right here. There's only 3 of them to take out, so it's not much of a problem. And I'm just going to take a detour. So from here, you get all the bandits in here to complete the story mission. Up here, there's the Claptrap with the backpack SDU. Back at the main path, I got the backpack SDU, so now it's time to go into this area to take out a bunch of bandits. A few guys come out of their little house here. There's also a chest that's just over here. You can jump to it, and you can just jump back. Although I can't apparently. But yes, that chest might not be bad to check at this point in the game either. There's a few bandits here and a bunch of skags. You can take out the skags if you want for the experience, but they're not going to help you towards the mission goal. There are a few bigger skags that show up around here though, so they can help you gain levels. And you just got to go over this area. Oh, it exploded me right down. And then there's a few small encampments around here with enemies. That got rid of a few of them. Very nice. That's all of them. Depending on how far in you are, it might even be beneficial to quit out and come back in, because then you'll spawn at the entrance to Crazy Earl Scrapyard. I'm not sure how beneficial that would be for me. I think it's a bit too close to call as to what would be quicker. So I'll just run back. Go back to Crazy Earl.
What you want?
And now we need to go to Treacher's Landing, which is a waterside bandit town. I feel like I might as well fill up my SMG ammo, because I'm no longer using ammo regeneration. I'm just wondering if I should have used the fast travel to get me a bit closer to it. I'll find out momentarily when I bring up the map. Treacher's Landing's right down there. Yeah, there wouldn't have been any other quicker locations to get from, I don't believe. Might as well grab a vehicle. Oh. Here.
Funny thing about selling. Everyone needs to buy, but no one wants to be sold. Not everyone has the knack for selling, you know. Take you, for instance. You always accept the price as is. You don't even try to negotiate. If you find that vault, you're going to need a partner who knows how to sell. A partner like me.
And now we're at Treacher's Landing. So it's necessary to take out 24 enemies to get bottles of booze. Oh, I didn't pick it up. And there was another one that dropped there. Because this is totally necessary to the story progression. 100%. Treacher's Landing isn't a bad place to spend a bit of time and level up at. I found a few times in story progression when I was around Treacher's Landing area of the game, and I was fairly weak. Spending a little bit of time here just clearing out the town got me a decent amount of experience. No, I don't want to be picking up junk. Ugh. I was knocked down by an explosive barrel, or a whatever barrel. Okay, halfway there. My aim is amazing. Oh, wrong weapon. This one. That's a bit weaker than the Pearl. But it does have infinite ammo. I'll run around with this a little bit and just see how it works for me. Okay, I picked up the right thing. I'm going to go this way because this outcropping here contains quite a few enemies. Kaboom! Doesn't have a scope. I feel like I should have paid a bit closer attention to what I was giving my spare character, something with a higher fire rate, and not having weird bullets would have been a bit more helpful. Okay, 6 more. What? I guess there was an explosive barrel behind me. One more. And because I don't need to spend any more time here for this one, I will quit out and go back in because it'll bring me to the start of Treacher's Landing again. And from here, it's actually possible to fast travel back to the scrapyard. You don't have to run back. Fast traveling plays a much bigger role in playthrough 2 once you unlock the fast travel station, because you will have all of the locations of interest show up in the fast travel list for playthrough 2 that you unlocked in playthrough 1.
I might have sort of lied to you. That alien vault crap a map you look
Including
for.
things like the Tetanus Warren, where I got that Claptrap SDU, which is why I didn't remember that you can't drive to it, because I just fast traveled right in. Alright, that story mission complete, and then the next piece, time to go to Crom's Canyon. Another thing that on playthrough 2 you don't have to run to, you can just fast travel to. But for me, I have, I think, Tannis?
Oh, Crazy Earl has more jobs he'd like that chump Vault Hunter to do.
I'm at Crazy Earl's scrapyard now. Is this where... Is that telling me that that's the closest place? I don't think so. I'll find out in a moment. I feel like I remember that Crom's Canyon's close to Tannis, but I may be remembering that incorrectly. Well, I will fast travel to the outer yard, I think. No, underpass is what it is.
Scooter asked me to tell you about a little something something he needs done. You should ask him about it.
Ah, and then I have to go to Rust Commons East, I see.
Oh, there are new missions available at the New Haven Bounty Board.
And then I'll be able to find out.
Hey there, stranger!
Thank you for the follow. Hello, how's it going? These loading times are just abysmal. So, to get to Crom's Canyon, it's all the way over there. And I don't think I've unlocked a new use station for that, so just gotta get there on foot, or on wheels. So we're making our way to Crom's Canyon. If you're under-leveled, you'll have troubles actually getting through, because there's 3 turrets, I believe, that'll make your life miserable when you're actually getting to the canyon. Very cool. And how are you liking it? So, just running through here. Of course, the turrets aren't a problem for me, but you will if you're at a proper level for this area. The rockets are level 26. Taking cover might not be a bad idea. You know, trying to take them out with a scoped weapon, perhaps a sniper. And once again, you can take out the enemies in them, and then do a bit of damage to the surrounding area if you desire. What am I stuck on? Hello? Did you seriously get me stuck? I'll just let this explode. There we go. Heal up a teeny bit. And so this is the entrance to Crom's Canyon. That's what I get for trying to mess around with turrets. Get me stuck. So now that you've unlocked the fast travel spot for Crom's Canyon, you don't have to worry about getting back here and play through 2. You just fast travel in. I'm actually going to get back to my pearlescent weapon because the other one was a bit of a pain. I'll just get rid of this junk. Now with Crom's Canyon, there's 2 ways to go. Crom is here. I'm just going to take a quick break from the story to deal with the Claptrap backpack SDU. Especially with the Siren. The Siren makes quite a few distances that are traveled on foot less tedious. I'm just gonna ammo up with SMG ammo. Make sure I've got an ample amount. And now we're gonna quickly take out Crom. This fight is a bit of an unusual boss. There's nothing major going on. It's just a named enemy sitting in a turret at the edge of a valley filled with walkways and a few bandit encampments. There's some weapon chests depending on the particular path you're taking through the rock faces. Ugh. What a waste of phase walk. What a jerk. So just gonna follow these pathways. There's lots of little barriers that'll prevent you from getting hit by Crom's missiles. So you just have to slowly work your way getting closer. As long as you're around his level, this fight isn't much of a problem, I found. If things are pretty tedious for you, you can hang out around here and just scope him out. Using a scoped weapon. That's Crom. Like with Sledge and a few other enemies, he does drop a weapon that can be a pretty good upgrade for you. And there's a weapon chest there. That's Crom's sidearm.
Others are starting to see their own opportunity.
So now I'm going to quit out and load back up because I don't want to run through that whole area again. It's a bit longer of a run than the other part that has the claptrap. And of course you can use the fast travel station to go to the underpass, and then we're going to go talk to Tanis to turn the mission in. And again, you can grab a vehicle here and drive this bit of a distance. I'm not going to, just because it's almost faster just to do it on foot with the Siren. Save the time actually going to the vehicle station and choosing a vehicle. Just gonna make sure. Okay.
Scooter asked me to tell you about a little something he needs done. You should ask him about it.
So next thing on the agenda is infiltrating Janestown. It's a little town that has a bunch of enemies in it and a named character that you have to beat. Let's grab a vehicle. Seriously? There may be a closer fast travel point, but I don't know if you're given that spot yet. Or you have to actually travel to it and then open it up. Yeah, I don't think that there was a closer point to fast travel at. Hey Raven, yes I do. I know it well. I've often rued the day. Oh yeah? Let me guess, I have to get out of the vehicle. Oh, of course I do. Interesting. And what does that mean?
Searching database. Your DNA has been granted Class A clearance. Lowering bridge.
That could make sense. Because I recall that particular jump in Nox never being a problem until it was extremely a problem. And I don't think it was ever so complicated for me as it was on the Switch, which does operate at a relatively low frame rate compared to the. Well, when I'm playing it on the PlayStation, it's a PS4 Pro. The fact that I use an SSD with it likely wouldn't impact the frame rate at all, but it is a PS4 Pro for whatever that means. Excuse me. One thing I'm curious about is how runs will be affected with the PS5. Okay. What?
Can I help you?
So now it's time to take out Janus Cobb, who's just at that little town, not too far from here. Yeah, you may be right about that. If so, it would explain the difficulties that I've encountered for sure. The problem is that I don't see too many people uploading new content for the Switch version of the game. Not that they haven't, but I just haven't seen it, so I haven't encountered information to validate stuff like that, right? Where are you, Janus Cobb? Come and get it. I wonder if we have to take out something else. I don't know. Chemistry rocks. Hello. Yeah, it's very possible. Oh, here. I am not sure, but it's been a little while since I've played the. Oh, there we go. Since I've played through the PS4 version, so you know I've had time to go back and turn the mission in. I've had an idea about, you know, how things were with the PS4 version, and then time passed, and then I did it again on the Switch version, and I just sort of had vague recollections of, you know, this doesn't seem familiar. I recall this being different. So there's been a bunch of that. Time to find Eric Franks, who is back in Rust Commons West.
I should
Oh,
warn
here we
you
go.
about
Fast travel.
Dennis. There is something strange about her.
He's in New Haven. I believe he's just sitting at the back of the town hanging out. All cool, leaning up against a wall. Kind of like that guy, actually. So cool. Leaning up against a wall. I don't follow nobody's rules. Oh, he's not leaning up. He's just standing there.
Can I help you?
Like a noob.
Crazy Earl has more jobs he'd like that chump vault hunter to do.
This is an odd little mission here, because it's just go to the edge of New Haven and open a container.
There are new missions available at the
Trust us, there's a really good reason for it.
Scooter asked me to tell you about a little something.
And then over to Helena Pierce,
Missions are available at Lucky's Bounty.
who's in New Haven.
Greetings. Helena Pierce has more jobs for you in New Haven. Hello. There are new missions available at the New Haven Bounty Board. Scooter asked me to tell you about a little something.
And now it's time to go back to Janustown.
You should ask him about it.
to take out Taylor Cobb. You can run away before you find out there are enemies where? Are you referring to the container mission in New Haven? Because if so, I ran away before I even realized. Yeah. Well, I am proof of that then.
The next time you see Tannis, tell her to come see
That's interesting, Raven. I know nothing about Borderlands 3, and the more I've heard from people, the less I'm interested in experiencing it. Though I guess I should give pre-sequel a chance. There we go. Hello? You see that frame rate dip? Looked like I was in Minecraft. You can pick up the roaster that Janus Cobb drops. Or Taylor Cobb, sorry. Mr. Cobb. And when you're infiltrating this area at the proper level, these sentries will cause you quite a bit of grief. It's helpful to take them out and sort of work your way towards Taylor Cobb. You are right. I can't claim that I wouldn't have fun with Borderlands 3. I've heard things that lead me to believe that it won't be a good time, but I won't know for sure based on other people's subjective experiences. I do have a fairly large list to get to. There's a lot of games I want to stream.
Without a master, I have two options. I can listen to you move your disgusting meat flaps, or I can stick an electrode up my back panel and call it paradise. I will comply with what you need. Then get out of my scan range.
Prepare yourself. Your next
Sorry, I just
challenge
wanted to
might seem insurmountable,
give
but
that
you can do
animation
this.
some space in
You
case
will prevail.
there was anything worth clipping and turning into a GIF.
You must prepare yourself. You have come very far in your journey, but it is not yet over, and it is not yet time to rest. Much depends on your actions moving forward. This last challenge will be your greatest.
So it's time to deal with Trash Coast. Just before I take out the boss, I'm gonna go here and quickly get the 7th, I believe, Claptrap SDU. There's a few mobs of spider ants coming up, including some badasses and fancy ones. You can also take those out, especially if you're pretty decent at hitting their abdomens, because that's where you want to shoot to take them out relatively quickly. Your eyes are so pretty. Well, I'm very glad to hear that. of course, the fight won't go this quickly if you're at a proper level. He drops the... Oh, yeah, it's not a named weapon. And if you want to have some fun, you can climb on top of him. Maybe you need to grenade jump to get on top. Oh no. I have conquered the beast. So conquery. Anyway, after taking out the Iraq hive, you just go over here and then let a large moth blast this open. I'm pretty sure it's invincible. Yeah. And then get the vault piece. And then time to go back to tennis, which means exit, save and quit, and come back in to get to the start of Trash Coast. Now we're fast traveling to the underpass because that's the closest fast travel location to tennis. Old Haven time. Not without my claptrap. Grab a vehicle. I again don't quite remember where the Old Haven is with relation to the fast travel stations that have already been claimed. So I'll just come into Rust Commons East with a vehicle. Ah, yes. Fairly far. Okay, so Crom's Canyon, not really. I think, what? Salt Flats. Whatever, I'll just drive there. Whatever.
emergency board.
Over the bridge.
Scooter asked me to tell you about a little something something he needs done. You should ask him about it.
Yeah, damn, it was near Jamestown. Or no. Is that Jamestown? No, it isn't. It's nothing. Oh, wrong button. Old Haven time. Okay. This is another good area that both times that you get here in playthrough 1 and 2, it's a good place to spend a bit of time leveling up if you need it and getting some decent loot. I have a video that shows a chest run here with lots of red chests, some silver. Oh, other way. Oh, no. Yeah, my bad. First we have to... we have to free the claptrap that's on this side. How about you guys go away? How about that?
Wow, you're not dead?
Hooray! Oh, really? That's annoying. Time to go up the stairs. I'm gonna make my way out of Old Haven now. Getting stuck on things. Psh. And it's time to get to the salt flats, which are close. The entrance to the salt flats is close to the entrance to Old Haven. And I will use the backpack SDU. So we're going right over here.
Flint was an employee of mine, but I fired him for gross incompetence. When he left, he stole a fragment from me and touched my dog.
Might as well grab a vehicle.
Let's get some wheels.
It's time to do a little bit more vehicle on vehicle action. There's one. Oh, come on. That tire got some airtime. I like how the thing is glitched. It was showing it constantly after I wrecked it. There's some really weird stuff going on at the port of this game, I swear. One more. Where are you at? Bad guys. Hello? There we go. Time to infiltrate the Thor. Just gonna drive around to the backside of it. Slowly. And I'll take a quick pause. That's number 9 for the story. And this claptrap opens up a little door for you and gives you a chest if you want to make use of that. And now we infiltrate Thor. Oh, I went too far. There's the entrance. Oh. Oh, maybe I didn't go far enough. Here we go. Gotta enter it from the side.
A guest. Please, make yourself at home. My men will be with you shortly. Never let it be said that the great Baron Flint is short on hospitality.
So hospitable. This fight, you gotta take out the bad guys so that ramp drops. And there's a couple big guys that are gonna come out of the ground. Hans and Franz. And then there's the ramp. You can go up and take out Flint. Where are you? There we go. So Flint drops a decent weapon. There's also a chest over there that you can walk to from around the side. And then grab the mission.
And we now have possession of the completed key. She used you to get what she wanted. You've ignored my orders.
Pretty sure you can just drop down from here too if you want to grab that chest.
Do yourself a favor. Take advantage of my generosity while you still can.
And then make your way back.
Disobedience will cost you and the citizens of this planet dearly.
And since it wants us to go... oh yeah, that's not going back to the entrance, so I'm not gonna quit out and load the game up again.
And learn a harsh lesson. No. No, this wasn't supposed to happen. Stand by.
This is Commandant Steele of the Atlas Corporation Crimson Lance Starbomb Brigade. Be advised, in preparation of upcoming special operations of the Lance, I have ordered the Echo Network shut down. Any attempt to circumvent our control will be met with punishment of death. Do not test me, or we may shut down the commerce grid as well. This is the only warning you will receive. What the hell is going on? Has Steele gone insane? They're shutting down the ecosystem, and now we're getting reports of weapons fire all around Sanctuary. It's a war zone. Sanctuary's getting
And the exit is over here on the east side, because it closes the exit up near the entrance to the vehicles. Oh, that's a bad guy.
Can you see me?
Can't take his vehicle.
Echo network down. I can't see you. We're flying blind.
Oh, never mind. The exit's still there. Weird.
Our window is closing.
Don't know what I'm talking about.
It can only be opened every 200 years. If it isn't opened soon, your chance will be lost.
So now we're making the way to the waypoint. That's as far as I go? Yep. Entering the back door. Giggity. So it's just a little cavern we need to run through. There's spider ants and things. Yeah, this game's ready to mature for a reason. So mature. Go over this little bridge here. A couple chests and a vendor. And a boss fight here. And the main guy, McLeod, has a Iridian cannon. Which you will drop and you can use if you like. Oh, do I have to... That took a lot of effort. I'm not going to bother with it, but there it is. It's time for the Crimson Fastness. And this area is somewhat similar to the whatchamacallit, Sledge's safe house. It's just this, like, enclosed space with a whole bunch of corridors and meandering paths. Whole bunch of claptraps in odd positions. And this claptrap opens a door for you that gives you a chest as well as opening up a shortcut through the Crimson Fastness.
And open!
2 chests. You get 2 chests. Tannis is here. And you gotta do some more crap in the Crimson Fastness. Find the things. There's also a chest in this cell. It's very true. All the value. So now I have to exit the Crimson Fastness to hit 3 places. Open. Okay. A few badasses come out of this area. But just go past. You can, instead of exiting here, you can just quickly go to the side here. There's a chest. And then when you're done, make your way to the Enclave. And the Crimson Enclave has 3 little fortresses like that you have to go to and hit a switch. And you get your first glimpse of endgame content. These Guardians drop so much experience for you. Guardians are the enemy to farm. Bar none. Not even the experience exploit at the beginning of the game compares. You can farm the Guardians at the end of playthrough 2 to get a level 1 character to level 69 in 3-ish hours. 3 or 3.5. Alright, I forget, but I know because I just recently did it with the character that I'm using, in fact. Guardians are amazing for experience. 1 of 3 transmitter consoles activated. So we're just going to make our way down to the other 2. Oh, it's gonna make me go upstairs. Of course it will. Go away. I'm trying to get in. Absolutely. The Guardians are fantastic whenever you encounter them. This is the Crimson Enclave is the first time that you see them. And yep. They're worth farming. This is the final one. So now we gotta head back to the fastness, and it's time to save and quit and load the game back up to bring us to the entrance. Back in here to turn in the mission. Of course, you can hit that chest again. You just gotta wait for this door to open. And of course, there's badasses on the other side again.
Wait, that was it? I regret not trusting you, but we've no time for...
So it's time to find Steel.
Steel has taken the key and is already on her way to the vault. Hey, for me, take the bitch down.
Seriously? The game just screwed me out of my phase walk. What's the deal, game? Make our way down to this little area here and grab a vehicle. And then ring this little area.
Network is back up. I'm guessing we have you to thank for that. If you need anything at all, remember to use the commerce grid. I'm sure there's something helpful for you there.
Now we're just driving to a small outcropping in the Salt Flats. Gotta get out of the vehicle.
There is no time left. You must reach the vault by any means necessary. We will not get another opportunity in this lifetime.
Looks like I need to buy more ammo. And just jump down this little cliff here. To enter the descent. And this is where your exposure to the Guardians picks up quite a bit. You're going to start off facing off a badass Guardian, and there's a chest here too. The badass Guardian usually drops something pretty nice, if memory serves. And then you can slowly make your way down. I'm not going to bother doing it too slowly, because there isn't really anything for me to gain. But you just make your way down the descent, and then you're going to encounter a battle between Lance soldiers and Guardians. There's going to be some Sarah Guardians flying around, shooting at you and them. You can take a little bit of time here to clean up the enemies. There's some chests lying around and whatever. But since you're so close to the Iridian Promontory, I always prefer to just kind of burst through here and get my experience gain on. Just cross this little post, bridge, whatever, bridge post. And here we are. The farmiest area in the game. I've spent a lot of time here. Oh, I'm just going to buy some ammo. I've spent a lot of time here farming experience. I've made a video showing how to farm it, what weapons to use. Actually, this gun, the pearlescent SMG, shouldn't be too bad because it's shock elemental, and the Guardians' HP is mostly in their shield, so the quicker you take that out, the quicker you'll take them out. But whatever playthrough you are, whenever you get here, you can farm them up for a lot of levels. And when you get here in playthrough 2 and you max yourself out to 69, you can also load up level 1 characters from spare accounts and level them up. And that's what I've done to this character. This is a spare account character. And then once I beat playthrough 2 with this character, then I can load up secondary level 1 characters from my main account and farm them up to level 69 fairly easily as well. It just takes a few hours.
So well. Know that you are ready for this. When the vault opens, brace yourself.
Also, just because I'm here, it's kind of noteworthy. There's I'm not sure if it's actually classified as a dev chest, but it's a weapon chest that gives better quality loot than your average chests. So I'll just show you it just around here, up on this platform. I look at this as a second dev chest. I don't know if that's actually the case, but like, I mean, you know, a legendary came out of it just first attempt, right? It's either a dev chest or just a really good loot chest, more so than any other random chest that you'll find. And it's just up that little pathway that hugs the rock face just before the last boss. Indeed. So now we are at the last boss on playthrough 1.
You have failed to listen to Commandant Steele. I've warned you time and again. Yet you persist on ignoring my orders. The contents of the vault are rightfully the property of the Atlas Corporation. But you, you belong to me. Yes, the key works. Sergeant, get your team ready to go inside.
I'm sure she deserved it. Right in the tramp stamp.
Don't give up. This creature may be immortal in its own realm, but in this reality, it cannot survive without a host. That makes it vulnerable. When it becomes flesh and blood, it can be hurt, even killed. You just need to know where to be.
The day has been saved.
The vault.
So this is your reward. This area is endlessly farmable on playthrough 1 and 2. I have a video of it. It's a very easy farm that'll give you a nice high-end gearbox weapon, and this chest here gives you oh no, so this is the gearbox weapon. There's a chance to get one of each type, and this one gives you relics. But now that that's done, the final step is to bring the vault piece to Tanis, and then the game is over, or the playthrough is over. So it appears that a full playthrough of the story, if you're not spending time like leveling up and having troubles with enemies, just strictly running through, appears to be under 3 hours. Maybe 2.5 to 2 hours and 45 minutes, I suppose. Which isn't bad. I had no idea. For all I knew, it could have been 5 hours or 1 hour. The game is done.